I want to say this. Coming up in the environment that I came up in, it was a treacherous environment, and it was a journey to get through the transgressions and the temptation that surrounded me. But I'm gonna say this, as an individual in that environment, I had a vision that propelled me out of the outskirts of that environment. And one thing that I learned about being in an environment like that, or the hood, is that if you don't have a vision, if you don't have a plan that impacts not only you, but other individuals, other people counting on you, other people watching you lead the way, then you're gonna fall victim. There were people that I came up with in a sandbox. I was with these people every day. I could have easily veered off just like they did. They had God-fearing mothers. They had God-fearing grandparents. They had a father. They had people that kept them in line. But they veered off. And it's because they didn't have nothing to keep them obsessed. They didn't have nothing that will steer them straight. They didn't have a reason to navigate that environment. And that's what it's about. Cultivating a vision, a dream, and protecting it by all means. Even if it means that you have to separate yourself from a certain crowd, or you have to stick to the script until the scene switch. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I came up with a lot of different people. Some people that was hardcore, some people who were soft, some people who just didn't know what they wanted to do out of life. But one thing I took notice of is that, a person without a plan for their life can easily be swayed in the wrong direction. No matter how tough you is, it don't matter how soft you is. Everybody accessible. There's no exceptions. Anybody can fall victim to that environment. Anybody can be propelled to a life of transgression. Anybody can lead a life of crime. And how I always saw was that living a life of crime is the easy way. That's the easy way out. And it's crazy because, I came up with a lot of individuals. I say this, I keep saying this. And it's crazy because I came up with a lot of different personnel. And there were individuals who couldn't even come to the park, or individual who, I came up with a lot of different personnel. And, there were hardcore individuals, and there were people who couldn't even come to the park. And so they was on that leash. They had people protecting them and sheltering them from that life. But as they got of age, these people, they found their way back to what they always wanted to do, but they didn't have the heart to do. And we see it all the time. You come interface with this individual, and you be like, man, you ain't even like that. This not even what you own. What happened to you? It's something that he always wanted to do, but he had guidance, and he was soft. But, somewhere down the line, as this person matured, right? And, they grew out of that shell and jumped off the porch. You see them. They doing what they always wanted to do. And so I'm going to say this. If you got a vision, and that vision compels you to lead a life of transgression and temptation, then you need to revamp that dread. And I'm going to say this because it's very important. If you have a vision that compels you to lead a life of transgression and engage in temptation, then you need to revamp that vision. You need to reshape it.